Hi everybody, this is a little video where I'm going to just talk about something I've been thinking about. And what I've been thinking about is this. What exactly is the difference between a custom knife, like this one, and a production knife, like this one? This is pretty simple in this case. This one's like way bigger, right? But that's not what I'm talking about. Let's say this knife was exactly the same size, but the same build quality and materials. What's the difference? That's a tough question to answer, especially now, because production companies have been making really excellent knives in the past 3 or 4 years. Materials have gotten better, finishes have gotten better, prices have gotten, in many cases, especially in the middle and bottom end of the market, they've gone down as opposed to gone up. And so it seems to me that you could argue there's not much of a reason to get a production knife or a custom knife when you get a production knife for, like this was $600. This is $60. Is this 10 times a better knife than this? Absolutely not. No way. There is no way that a production knife is 1/10 as good a knife as a custom knife. This is an excellent knife. This is one of my favorite knives I've ever owned. This is a pretty darn good production knife. But knives are not commodities. They're not like milk. With a commodity, you spend 10 times more, you get 10 times more stuff. That is not what happens with knives. You spend 10 times more than this, and you get this, which is 10 or 25% better. It's certainly not 10 times better. So let's talk about what you get. So, one of the things you get with a Jessie Jaros knife, one of the reasons I like Jessie's knives so much, you get a nutty grind. I mean, the grind here is just insane. Like, the grind here is so clean and so sharp you could practically cut yourself on the grind lines. Here, not so much. Grind's good, by the way. Grind's good on the K-bar. It's quite good. But, I would put Jessie up there in terms of grinding ability. By the way, cut the tip of my finger off. But I put him up there with, some of the best grinders in the business. He doesn't do the really exotic, complex, like triple facet or compound grinds. But if you want somebody to just do crisp, clean grinds and have like a screaming edge on their knife, you cannot beat Jessie's grinds. I just love his grinds. They are so clean, so good. So that's one thing. The grind is just better. There are some production knives that have like really insane grinds. Like, I think this Chaparral has a grind that's just as good as this. It also happens to have much thinner blade stock, which is a way to cheat. If you're not able to give as much attention to detail on a production as you can to a custom, then you can squeeze out, better performance on a grind by making the blade stock thinner. But here, you get relatively thick blade stock, and you still get wicked edge. I mean, like, just, you don't even want to touch these. It'll peel your skin off in a second. So that's one thing. This was the first knife that Jessie did with this sculpted titanium pocket clip. And it's not my favorite pocket clip in the world, but man, is it good in the hand. There are no hot spots because of this pocket clip. The whole thing is like a little stick of butter. Every edge is curved and eased. It's beautiful. The knife lockup is another thing. This came with a very late Terzula style lockup, which I like, but not as much as normal lockup. And so I sent it back to Jessie, and he tweaked the lockup, and it is wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful. It hasn't moved. It stayed right in place. And so that's another thing. If you don't like the lockup on this knife, this one, you can send it back to K-bar, and they're going to tweak it within the spec that they've generated for the knife. That's it. You're done. You get this knife, and you're like, I don't like the lockup. Send it back to Jessie. Jessie's like, what do you want it to do? I said, I want it to lock up a little earlier than the late Terzula lockup. And the reason why is, I don't know if I have like extra fat hands, but like when I would squeeze the knife, it would hit the lock bar. See, there's like a little cutout here. and the fat of my finger would push the lock. It would never disengage it, but it would generate enough movement in the lock bar face going this way that the knife would have audible and tactile blade play. Now he's adjusted it, and it's an early lockup. It's not a Terzula style lockup, and it's just perfect. Can't ask for anything better. It's tuned, and that's something that you can't get on these production knives. You can't get any tuning. Okay, so here are a couple other little smaller points, and these kind of make me think that these points are ridiculous, but I'll go through them anyway. All of the edges here just have a warmer feel to them. They're curved a little bit more. They're less pokey. And as you can see, that he's really taken some time to flatten that out there. So there's no way you can catch your finger on that. You just can't. Whereas this one, you can catch your finger on this thing all day. And it's sharp. I don't like that. The jimping up here is good. It's better than most. But it's still not as good as Jesse's jimping. Jesse's jimping is pretty darn close to perfect. If you're not needing to grab it, your finger just passes over it almost as smoothly as it does the spine of the blade. But if you push in just a little bit, it really locks your finger into place. I mean, your finger's not going anywhere. You're locked in. So those are nice little touches. I note that the contouring on this knife is a little more complex. And this is actually not contoured, it's just stamp, a mold. And so like right here, there's a little bit more room for your finger, and right here it gets a little pointy. Just more complex contouring, more human-centered, thoughtful contouring than on this knife. There's a couple other things that you notice. There's a little divot here that Jesse puts in his knives so that you can sharpen all the way to the edge. And the divot is not as well done here as it is on the production knife. You can see it. And it's really nice and crisp. And here it's just like, bing. It's hard to tell, but it's really not as nicely done. Grinds are the grind on this knife is just, Jesse does grinds. That should be his motto. Jesse does grinds. It's great. This is a great knife. This is a good $600 knife. This is a good $60 knife. This knife is not 10 times better than this knife, but it is better. And if you're an aficionado, you'll notice the differences instantly. If you're not an aficionado, you will notice the differences, though. I feel pretty confident in saying that you will notice the difference between a custom and a production knife of the same knife, especially if you use it or if you're an aficionado. So that's my thoughts on customs and productions as it stands right now in June of 2017. And it'll probably change because production knives are getting better, custom knives are getting weirder. So we'll see what happens. That's where we're at. That's where I'm at right now.